I was a battered person in a relationship, so I ended up leaving that relationship and that home, and I needed somewhere to go because I was out on the streets jumping around from house to house, and then I went and found a battered shelter that I could go to.
I met Boris. He was assigned to me when he was literally homeless. He had been for quite some time. And so I started working with him from that point forward. Getting his Social Security, U of I with the Odyssey Project, the Department of Rehabilitation Services we connected him with out at the doors. Getting in with Housing Authority was a huge part of getting him stabilized, was to get him into housing first.
And one of the programs I know that Lena was able to connect with Boris along with, and she mentioned housing as a first priority, was our Shelter Plus Care program. So we have a couple of permanent supportive housing programs where individuals or families can get connected and receive that help to get housed and really to get to those next steps.
I was in college for a while, like over 8 years ago, and I was trying to get back in, and Lena was trying to knock down walls and doors, and if she could have opened the door and put me into a seat in that college herself, she would have put me in there, because that's how good of a case manager and person that she is, because she went the extra mile. Everything is falling into place, and my education that's my main next step.
He didn't stop. He just kept moving forward. He knew what he wanted. He's still making goals for himself.
I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I've been licensed since 1985, so that's over 30-some years. But in 2015, I got my instructor's license for cosmetology, and that has led me to, it's called trichology. It's a study of diseases of the hair and scalp, and I would like to get first I had to get a bachelor's in order to get into the school. Then I'll get my master's in trichology, and then eventually my doctorate. So those steps there. That's why Lena's fighting so hard to break down the school walls and make them take me into their programs. So I do things that, just keep me going, and I have support from, like my case manager and all this. It really matters, because I know if it wouldn't have been for the people that have come into my life after, during that time when I was struggling, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't be here sitting here right now. So I know I'm blessed, and I just keep that forefront. So it matters to me that people know that they can get out of anything. They just have to have that determination. I can make it as a human being and a productive one in this world. So
I was into drugs. I just started out for fun, for me. And then it just became a habit, a problem, I shall say. And I decided to leave the place where I was living at the time to better myself, to get away from the bad and begin with the good. Cody Moore, he found me in the baseball park here in Fairfield at Leo French Park, at the baseball field in the batting cage, and Cody Moore told me about Amy Hart at Waddy. I pretty much, she helped me out. First, it was the gentleman from Feed My Sheep, Jack Carter. He was a saint in some ways, sent from God. He gave me a place to stay, and Amy helped me look for a place and helped me find a job. What made it easy is she seems like your best friend and confidant, and she helped me out with food whenever I couldn't face the crowds in the grocery stores. And she let me come in and she let me pick what I needed for my house. I was a proud person. I never asked for help. But at that point in time, I didn't have a choice. And I told she was a great lady and she will work with me. The Wadi would help out the best that they could. And they delivered. I was like, wow, really? I was excited. I was amazed that all of it existed and how misinformed most people can be. And I was. And I'm like, they have all these different ways to help you, and they don't frown upon you, they don't judge you, but they are more than willing to help you get where you need to be. I do have a great job, and I'm paying my own way now. I'm paying my own bills. Nutritional service. I work in the cafe. I am a dishwasher. I set up trays for patients, and I love it there. It's a place that I've been looking for. I'm actually proud to say that I am a year and a half clean, and I am in school to get my GED. I want to study to be in the business management. I don't want to go back. I don't want to be back I don't want to be back in front of her.
I served 40 years in the IDOC. When I was released, I was considered homeless. I went homeless for a few months. Started staying in motels, trying to build my reputation back up to being a person that want to do good. Miss Livingston consulted with Project Now, Miss Chris, Miss Megan, and they came together with a solution to put me on track. When I got out, restrictions is what stopped me from getting the things that I needed. I wasn't even recognizing the computer. When I went to the Social Security office, they didn't even think I exist. But through the help of many people, they got me all my identification. Just say I'm doing good right now.
As he was leaning forward, we were leaning in his direction as well. So it wasn't just that we were walking toward him, he was walking toward us. The idea of self-determination is his story. It's a story of resilience, it's a story of self-discovery, and it's a commitment to personal growth. You know something about his commitment to education, his public service, and what he's doing for others. I think it all began really for him when we were able to assist with housing. We like to say housing is the anchor of all other opportunity.
When I came out, the world, it was different. I'm trying to adjust to it, and I'm going to adjust to it. I got to take my time and figure everything out. I just not learned how to punch a couple of buttons on the phone, even though it slips ups and down, but I'm learning how to work the phone. People take me different places, and everything's just different, you know what I'm saying? All I can do is tell you, hey, I'm doing good.
That's the type of person he is. Once he makes a determination and a direction for his life, he's going to take one step after another to get there. And we're happy and we're thankful to be able to play just a small part in his journey.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing wrong with it.
It is not the weak person that asks for help. It is the strong person that wants to stay strong. They're asking for help so they can continue moving forward.
But the help that they giving me, give me that push to say, hey, look, this is what you're about. We giving you that opportunity.
We're not just moving and assisting individuals to have a higher economic class reality. We're actually removing the barriers, and his story is a part of that, to make sure and ensure that there's not a caste reality where people are locked out and locked into a certain state of life. And it just so happens that he is a person that's come to grips with his past, the offenses, and this man is absolutely more than his past.
I gave you my word that if I get housing or that I can get this help to being a human being, I would not mess that up. And to this day, I've stood on what I said. I'm going on 3 years out, 4 months, I won't have no more parole. And I like to continue what I've been doing. I'm part of 2 organizations now, Fully Free and NAFI, in which we sit on a group and try to find solutions to people's problems. I enjoy the company that I got right now. And I speak of Project Now all the time to everybody else, because I done heard people say, hey, well, I can't get this, I can't get that because of my background. It ain't about the background, it's about you changing yourself. When you change yourself, things start to change for you.
I came in and I was like frantic. I had been let go. I had 2 kids to support. I didn't know, where to turn to, what to do, but I knew the CEFS office was always here for me. I've needed services before. I do LIHEAP for the heat and the electric. And I've done the food pantry.
Michelle walked into my office one day. She was a dislocated worker, somebody that had lost their job, and she was a little panicked.
I was panicking because I just had a part-time job, and I didn't know how I was going to make the house payment. I didn't know what, anything. So I came in here to try and get some help.
That's my job to kind of figure out exactly what we needed. So I did offer the job board, which is just a service that we offer here in my office. But then I wanted her to sit down so that we could kind of process life with her to figure out where what her goal would be.
So I came in and spoke to Heidi, and she showed me her job board about different jobs. And then we had talked about the possibility of going back to school, which I had always wanted to do, get my associate's degree. So we talked about that.
I was just really pulled to think that college was where she needed to be or wanted to be. So I gave her some information about the classes that were available.
I had options. Again, when I was let go from my job, I didn't feel like I had any options whatsoever. I was like, okay, so, we'll cut off the internet. We'll do this, we'll do that to lower, and I just felt like I had options when I came to see her. It was overwhelming, but it was a relief as well, because I had actually had options that I could see. Whereas when I came to her, I didn't feel like I had any options.
She didn't allow things in her life to stop her. I mean, when I would give her something, she had good grades, and if I asked her to fill out paperwork, it was there a week early. I mean, that's what I expect from my customers, my students, but she did it, even with 2 teenagers and a 3-month-old.
I found time. When I put the 19-month-old to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock, that's when I would do most of my homework. So far, I have earned the Administrative Office Basics Certificate, and by the end of this December, so December of 2022, I will have my Medical Billing and Coding Certificate, which the CFS, WIOA, I guess, is paying for, and then my Medical Office Personnel Certificate. And then by the end of next December, I will have my Medical Office Assistant Associate's degree, the Associates of Applied Science.
We don't judge people as they come through this door. Our job is to send them out better than what they come in, and I think that's what CFS WIOA does.
She doesn't realize how much I appreciate her, because I feel like I have my whole life in front of me now because I came in to talk to her, you know, and I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. As soon as I make my way out of school, I'll be able to have a job, and, you know, I won't have to live on government assistance, and it means the world to me.
I can see her getting exactly what she wants. She wants to work in the hospital. I can see her doing that. A doctor's office, whatever. But she literally doesn't want to stop. She's got that taste for the education, and now she just can't stop. She wants to work for the associate's degree and the bachelor's degree. So the sky's the limit when it comes to Michelle. She has the ability to do whatever. I've seen it firsthand.
I'm not stopping now.